Financial planning is the process of determining ways to earn, save, and spend money, and learning more about the amount that you need in order to meet your baseline needs and meet your long-term goals. This webinar provides information on how to create a basic financial plan while protecting your family's ability to enjoy time together, helping to put a plan in place that makes ends meet while still having fun. My name is Nicole Schwartz, and I work as a contractor in the Family Services section of Family and Morale, Wellness, and Recreation, DLA Installation Support at the Defense Distribution Center, Susquehanna, in New Cumberland, Pennsylvania, providing support, assistance, and programming for the Family Advocacy Program, or FAP, is the focus of my work with DLA. Family Advocacy is a DoD or Department of Defense sanctioned program designed to prevent, identify, report, and treat families that have experienced domestic violence and/or child abuse. Monthly workshops and webinars are part of our regular programming. Money makes the world go round. According to the United States Currency Education Program, paper currency was born in the United States around 1690, when Massachusetts Bay Colony began to issue paper currency to fund military expeditions. Other colonies quickly began taking up the practice of issuing paper notes. Today, we use a variety of currency: paper, checks, and other promissory notes, as well as the digital exchange of currency. But one thing remains the same: money is absolutely necessary. It's often difficult to earn and very easily spent. There are essentials that require consistent finances. The exchange of money is necessary for almost all essentials: housing, utilities, transportation, food, and spending changes to meet our ever-changing needs and desires. Many people have difficulty managing their finances, so you're not alone if this is not one of your strong points. Unless actively sought after, most of us don't develop the financial skills because they haven't been taught. Most Americans, in fact, spend more than they save. Research shows that approximately 62% of Americans have no emergency savings, and we would have difficulty with an unexpected $1,000 emergency room visit or $500 car repair. And before we move on, I want to share an interesting fact with you. Crane & Company, which is a Massachusetts-based company, has been providing the U.S. Bureau of Engraving and Printing with paper for U.S. currency since 1879. I was doing research for this presentation, and I found that interesting piece of information when I was on the United States Currency Education Program website, so I thought I'd share it with you. All good things start with a solid plan. David Ramsey is a specialist in personal finance, and he provides a set of guidelines that he calls baby steps. When applied, they can help assist individuals and families with meeting their financial goals. His suggestion is to take the following baby steps. Create an emergency fund, pay off your debt, build a catastrophic emergency fund, begin retirement savings, create a college or training fund, pay off your home if you have one, and build wealth and leave a legacy. Spending and saving priorities differ with each household. We all have differing values and goals, so ultimately your plan will look different than mine does. As a first-generation college student, I didn't have the benefit of the financial assistance or the college savings account that my parents put together because it was not part of their reality or their long-term goal planning. It was not part of their financial plan because of their own life and their own financial reality. So for my own family, my family of origin, having been deeply affected by the debt of undergraduate and graduate school loans, saving for my children's college fund is really important to my husband and I. There's no single right plan, but a plan nonetheless is important to have. And there are some things that you can do to assist everyone across the board. So return to your plan. Pay off your debts and attempt to find ways to meet your goals. Explore your income. Are you making enough to meet your expenditures or your goals? Are there places that you can reduce your spending to balance your budget? Planning to pay off your debts. List all of your debts, with the exception of your house, in order. The smallest balance should be your number one priority because you can pay it off the fastest. Don't worry about interest rates unless you have two debts that are similar. In that case, then you should list the higher interest rate first. This step makes a huge difference in your everyday life. If you whittle down what you actually need to spend every month on bills and essentials, and you have a set amount of money that you can put towards your spending priorities or paying down your debt, you can use what's called a snowball effect. You'll use a debt snowball to knock out your debts one by one from smallest to largest. You contribute the minimum to every one of your debts with the exception of that smallest one, and you pay that one off a little bit more than the minimum, and you pay that off first. And then you add what you were paying on that debt to the next debt, and you start attacking that. Then when you start knocking out all of the easier debts, you'll see the results and you'll stay motivated to keep dumping your debt and working on it and plugging away with it. As each debt is paid off, your cash flow will increase and the bigger debts will be gone sooner than you think. So work at it. Use that snowball effect. Approximately 62% of Americans have less than $1,000 in their savings account, and 21% don't even have a savings account, according to a research survey of more than 5,000 adults. So one of the first steps in your financial security is to create an emergency fund. So if you remember back to that slide, David Ramsey's very first baby step was to focus on creating an emergency fund. This is a fund for those unexpected life events that you can't plan for. Household emergencies, car emergencies. Last winter, I woke up to a very, very, very cold house. After slipping into my wool slippers and investigating, I realized that my furnace wasn't working. Unexpected emergencies arise, and they never, ever, ever seem to do so when things are calm or our bank account is full. So the first step is to save a goal of $1,000 as fast as you can. And how do you do that? You go through your storage boxes, you sell some things, work an extra job, sell some magazines or sell baked goods if you need to. Do whatever it takes to start saving money. Once you have it, open an account that's separate from your regular checking account and put that $1,000 in it. When something unexpected comes up, like your furnace breaks down, you don't have to go into debt to fix it. You don't want to dig yourself deep into a deeper hole when you're trying to get out and work your way out of debt. Next is to assess your spending and your savings. Print out your financial statements for the last 3 months. And if something went on in your life where the last 3 months does not provide a good estimate or a good picture of your finances, like you lost a job, or you had one of those medical emergencies or a car emergency in the last 3 months, print out more. Record your total income for the month, and then break it down and list all of your expenses. And I'm providing you with a long list here because it's easy to forget things. So look through and make sure that you're collecting all of your expenses related to housing, utilities, food, which includes groceries that you spend at home for money, grocery and money that you spend for food at home, as well as that restaurant money or the stuff you take out or eat out. Transportation, medical and health, insurance, debt, credit, loans, credit cards, student loans, etc. Entertainment, retirement savings, anything you give away to charity, investments, and personal items, those things that you buy to help support yourself and your family. So, assess all of your spending and savings. Now, where can you cut things out in order to create that emergency fund or begin to pay down your debts? Cutting your household spending in order to meet your financial goals can be difficult to consider without a little bit of guidance. We often create our spending habits, and they can be difficult to reorganize or reconsider without some type of support. Here are several ways that you could consider reducing some of your household spending. If possible, consider making some changes regarding your transportation spending. Take public transportation or carpool to and from work or school. Register your children to ride the school bus. Lots of families actually drive their children to school, so consider utilizing the school bus or carpool with other families in your school district. Some families that live closer to their place of employment can drop down to one car altogether, sell one, and bike to and from work. You can tackle debt by reinvesting or investigating refinancing options, taking advantage of balance transfers, and advocating for credit card rate reductions with your bank or your credit card companies. Savings in some instances can be easy as changing a light bulb. Installing CFL or LED lights can reduce overall energy costs. And although they require some upfront funding and financing, installing programmable thermostats can help manage the temperature in your home and your overall seasonal heating costs. You can also reductions in the area of entertainment and food. They're a little bit easier to identify, I would say, but much harder to remain committed to. Cancel your regular membership like Netflix, Hulu, or cable subscription channels, or even cable, because that can greatly reduce your monthly spending. You can consider ending newspaper, magazine subscriptions, engaging in less expensive means of entertainment. It saves in the long run. Also, cooking meals at home, packing lunches, reducing or eliminating takeout expenses related to restaurants. If you purchase household food or household goods in bulk, you can save in the long run as well. These are just a few tips on areas that you can reduce some of your overall household spending. So, after hearing all of the ways that you can reduce your spending, you'll be relieved to hear that this is the still having fun part. You have to preserve the things that are important to you and your family in order to continue working toward financial goals. So you have to budget spending money. You have to budget money for yourself to do things that make you feel good and meet your needs. Otherwise, you're not likely to continue in this long-term financial process. So consider what's important to you. What makes you feel good? What do you and your family members enjoy? Some people eat it. Do you love taking your family out to eat? Is there some special place that you like to go to for dessert? Hibachi, ice cream. Some people like to wear their spending money. Do you really enjoy shopping for clothes? An unhealthy obsession with shoes, etc.? Some people like to watch it. You want to use your spending money for theater, concerts, Friday night movie night? Do you love the ballet or perhaps Broadway shows? That's where you can use your spending money. Some people like to knit, crochet, weave, and spin it. And I shared this because my house often looks like a craft store on a Friday night. My daughters and I can be found behind our spinning wheels, knitting, spinning, weaving, etc. This is where we prioritize our own spending money. These are the things that we do together, and it's a priority in our family budget, and to cut it out would mean that I would be less likely to remain committed to our financial goals. So spend some time considering what it is that you and your family find the most entertaining and rewarding, and pay yourself as part of your budget. Pursue your financial plan. After you have a clear picture of your income and expenses and know what your goals are, it's time to commit it to paper. Work on these as described by Dave Ramsey in these baby steps. Create that emergency fund and begin to pay down your debt. Build a catastrophic emergency fund for something 3 to 6 months of income is what's recommended, so that if you were to become unemployed unexpectedly, you would be able to meet your financial obligations while you found other employment. Begin retirement savings and create a college or a training fund, and start snowballing to pay off your debt. If you own a home, pay it off early and start to build wealth to leave a legacy, to meet those needs and to help help your family or an organization or an agency that you feel committed to. Thank you for viewing the Family Advocacy Program's webinar. We appreciate your time and attention. If you have any additional questions regarding FAP, please, if you want to seek referral or for programs or services, or you want to know anything about our mission, please feel free to give us a call. Reach out to the Family Advocacy Program Manager at 717-770-7066. Thank you very much.